Hi, my name is Sam, and welcome to the last video in the series on the 7 secrets to enjoying your trip to New York City. Today, we're going to go over nightlife, how to find the right bars, music clubs, and nightclubs to really get a sense of New York City. Frank Sinatra famously called New York City the city that never sleeps. With 24-hour public transportation and bars and nightclubs that remain open to 4 a.m., New York City definitely lives up to the reputation bestowed upon it. New York City has some of the world's most famous bars, nightclubs, and music clubs. The main challenge that travelers face when coming to New York City is that the best nightlife venues lie outside the main hotel district in Midtown, in areas such as Chelsea, the Meatpacking District, and Greenwich Village. Therefore, most travelers never find the best bars and nightclubs that New York City has to offer. An additional challenge that travelers face is that many bars and nightclubs open and close and rise and fall quickly in their popularity. So if a traveler has asked a friend who's visited New York City where to go, they can often go to an establishment that is no longer open or the hotspot that it was even just 6 months ago. In some bars, and especially nightclubs, one night can see a completely different type of music crowd from night to night. Even though the New York City nightlife scene is so confusing, it is definitely worth the effort. You just need to evaluate the options below and see which one works best for you. First one is nightlife promotional companies. The nightlife scene is so confusing in New York that most local New Yorkers literally outsource their nightlife entertainment choices to promotional companies. These companies hire thousands of promoters that develop their lists of friends based on their music preferences and styles, i.e. house music, rap music, top 40, hipster, etc., and direct their list of loyal socialites to different nightclubs based on the types of parties at each club that night. In New York City, most social groups travel together to different venues every night. So if locals use local promotional companies to help them in their nightlife choices, it is a must for traveler to also get local advice. We recommend you talk to your concierge so they can recommend what club best suits your music taste, demographics, and style. The worst thing you can do is show up at a club where you do not fit into the crowd, and after spending 30 to 45 minutes in line, the doorman will turn you away for not being the type of person they want at your club. We recommend that you show up to a nightclub early, generally shortly after they open at 11 p.m., so that you have a better chance of getting in early. Locals generally know people and are afforded the luxury of showing up fashionably late. Ask your concierges which local promotional companies they recommend to use to get on the guest list. If you have a group of over 2 to 3 people, you should definitely consider getting table service. Generally costs between $450 to $700 to get into the club. While this sounds expensive, drinks at the bar generally cost up to $20 a drink in a nightclub. Table service is the ultimate symbol of status in New York City nightlife, and many times at more exclusive nightclubs you can find models, celebrities, and sports stars in the table areas. When you buy table service, you're really renting status and access to the crowd around you. The more you're willing to pay, the higher your quality experience. Nightclub tours is the next option. In New York City nightlife, even if you talk to your concierge and you get on a guest list, there are no guarantees. If you show up at a New York City nightclub, even if you're on a guest list and you have the wrong look or don't meet the dress code for that particular party, or if you have more guys than girls in your group, this is the most common reason for denial of entry, the doorman will not let you in. It all depends on the party that night and how the doorman feels. The best way to get in the door is to be part of a group where the doorman knows the promoter bringing the people in. For tourists, you're not going to be part of any of these local social groups, but there are tour companies that offer nightclub tours that allow you to get into nightclubs as part of a tour group. While getting into a nightclub is always at the doorman's discretion, these tour companies will generally ensure that you get into the club as long as you adhere to published dress code and you have proper identification. You can also sign up for private guided limousine nightlife tours that give you that extra exclusivity when you show up at the door and make for VIP entry into the nightclub. When doing your research on any nightclub tour, make sure you consult with your concierge and also read relevant online reviews at Yelp and TripAdvisor.com to ensure you use a reputable tour company. The last part of New York City nightlife is New York City bars. If you are not into the pressures of the nightclub scene and want a more mellow, down-to-earth New York City experience, you have plenty of bars to choose from. Just like nightclubs, there are plenty of different types of bars in New York City to meet any taste. You can typically find these bars based on the neighborhood. If you are looking for some of the classic old bars of New York City, including bars from the time of Abraham Lincoln, go to the East Village. If you're looking for the classic writer and musician bars of New York City, go into the West Village. If you're looking for the trendy younger crowd bars, either go to Greenwich Village in the NYU area or Hell's Kitchen. If you want to go to the hipster dive bar scene, go to the Lower East Side. If you want the young urban professional scene, especially on a weeknight, go to the Upper East Side of Murray Hill. If you're traveling alone or in a small group and you want to meet other travelers, or if you want to learn about the best bars in New York City, there are tour companies that offer New York City pub crawls and bar tours through some of the best bars in New York City. Consult your concierge for recommendations of a bar you should go to or a pub crawl or bar tour that you should take. The last thing I'd like to discuss with you is live music and comedy. Most rock musicians or comedians in the United States have spent their formative years in New York City before they were discovered. Whether you like jazz, performances, vocal performances, comedians, or live cover bands, New York City is full of options. These venues change on a nightly basis. And you'll want to talk to your concierge or a local tour company that deals with bars and nightclubs to find the right venue for you on any given night. You can also look for a tour company that might have a tour of these types of venues or not. You can hire a private guided tour through some of these venues, either by SUV or limousine or by foot, depending on your budget. So, I hope you find this video and all the previous 7 videos helpful in getting started to planning your trip to New York City. This is the last video in the series for helping you to plan your trip, but we're ready to help you if you have any more questions. If you'd like to talk to a New York City concierge or travel expert about planning your trip, just enter your name and phone number in the box, click on the button, and one of our concierges will call you within 24 hours. Or if you can't wait, you're welcome to call our concierge service by dialing the number below. We look forward to helping you plan your trip so that you can truly, truly experience New York City, meet new people, and go home with a story. I look forward to seeing you in the world's greatest city.